Hey coaches, it's Kit with lesson number 3, the how-to of challenge groups. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how do you go about engaging folks in one of your challenge groups, what should you do over the course of the challenge group to keep them engaged, and how do you go about reaching out to folks that might be revealing themselves as great potential coaches on your team. So let's take a step back. Why do challenge groups at all? Well, I feel like this is the most efficient and effective way to provide help and support to people, because when they get engaged in a challenge group and with a challenge pack, they get fitness, food, nutrition, support, accountability, you as a coach, and they also get some great rewards. So although you may not be able to guarantee that they're going to lose the 10, 15, 20 pounds that they want to lose at the end of a 60 or 90-day program, what you can guarantee to them is that they will make probably the most progress and feel the best they've ever been being part of this group. This is kind of what I talk to people about as sort of the no-fail plan, because all those elements are there, and those are all the important elements to get on a track toward health and fitness and make some real lifestyle changes. So first, your first goal is to make sure that you try to set up a new challenge group every month. And this is just a great way to, again, to keep business flowing and keep people engaged. So I recommend that you start promoting your group at the beginning of the month and maybe make your start date toward the middle or the end of the following month. This gives you time to get folks engaged. It also gives time for folks to order their program, look it over a little bit, get mentally prepared, and get started at the right time. The other thing that you can do, how do you go about doing this? Well, we've already talked about various ways to invite. So you can do this face-to-face. You can do this via social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those types of things are the tools that you should be using. And you should be pulling out and rebuilding that list of 20 folks every single week so you have a constant resource of folks to reach out to. So we talked a little bit in the previous lessons about invitation, and there's a great 5-step invitation process to go about getting folks involved in your challenge group. In your online office, there is a wonderful video from Denise Needham, as well as a 5-step invitation guide that'll give you some ideas for scripting. And I would recommend that you take a look at that. But essentially the 5-step invitation process is this. The first thing that you want to do is when you reach out to folks, you just want to pique their interest. You want to just see if it's something that they might be interested in. So for example, when Les Mills Pump came out, I knew that that was really a great high energy strength training program, and women tend to shy away from strength training. So what I posted, and I reached out to folks and said, hey gals, we tend to shy away from strength training in that I'm a big believer in strength training. Beachbody's come out with this new program, and I want to do a test group. Would anybody be interested in being part of this test group? I would be available as your coach. Let me know. Or when P90X3 came out, I reached out to folks and said, okay, here's Tony. He's come out with an amazing accelerated program. Some folks had a hard time doing it now, or now they're all 30 minutes. Would you be interested? So various things like that. Or it might just be, hey, I'm starting a wonderful support and motivational group. It's going to include nutrition tips as well as great fitness. Would you be interested? And all you want to do, again, is pique their interest. So that's step 1. Step 2 is when they reach out to you and say, yeah, I think I am interested, is to really ask a series of questions, whatever those questions might be that make sense to you, with the purpose and intent of getting at their why, really getting at a deeper level of emotion of why they're ready to make this commitment. So some of those questions might be, hey, I'm so glad you're interested. Can you tell me why? What prompted you to respond to this? What has been working? What hasn't been working? What are some of the challenges? What do you think, if you get committed to this, how would your life be different at the end of the 60, 90 days? What are some of the things that you would like to be able to do differently that you can't do now? Whatever those questions are that make sense to you and that sound like you. But the real purpose is to connect with the emotion. The next thing that I would recommend, step 3, is there's a wonderful video called Ever Feel Like This in your online office. I would recommend sending that out to someone who is interested, because it really gets at the sense of that emotion, and it also gives a great overview of the Beachbody Challenge Group process and their engagement in the challenge group. And then finally, there's a wonderful participant agreement guide in your online office. This is a wonderful tool that gives an overview of whatever program they're committed to, so they get a real sense of what they're going to be doing on a daily basis and throughout the course of the challenge group. And these are things that I used to type up on my own. I didn't, have these participant guides, so they're a wonderful tool. And those can be found in your online office as well. And then, of course, the final step is to enroll them. So the enrollment process is important because even though you feel like they're really committed and they're ready because you've brought them through these first 4 steps, do not then just say, hey, here's my website, go to the website and make sure you pick the challenge pack in your Shakeology flavor of choice and away you go. It's very important that you walk them through that enrollment process. Otherwise, you're going to end up just continuing to chase them down. So, call them up, set an appointment to do that. You're in front of your computer, they're in front of theirs, and you walk them through that. Or if there's someone local, I suggest you go over to their house and, you sign them up with the challenge pack by logging out of your office and logging back in like you're a customer just like them, and really taking them through the enrollment process. By this time, you've had conversations about what they want to do and why they want to do it and the cost, so this shouldn't be, too much of a problem. So that's how you go about getting folks engaged, and that's how you go about getting them signed up. Now, great, you've got this challenge group starting, in another few weeks. You've got 5 or 6 people committed. So how do you go about running and leading one? Well, the first thing to do is to get your Facebook group started. So in the enrollment process, make sure that that person is your friend on Facebook, because in order to add them to the group, they have to be your friend. And you're just going to simply go to Facebook, and on the right-hand side, there's a little thing that says Create Group. You click on that. You can come up with a name for your group, and then you just simply type in names in the bar below that to add them to the group. And the first thing you should do is send out something a week before. Maybe it's a personal email message, or maybe it's just a post in this group. And there are some important things they need to do. First, they need to open the box, and they need to read through the nutrition guide, read through the fitness guide that comes with the program. Watch the Watch Me First DVD, which comes with most of the programs. The other thing that they should do is they need to take their photos. So it's important that you show them, the different views, front, back, and side view, to take their photos and take their measurements. Those instructions will come with their program. They should go shopping. They should clean out their house of all the cruddy food, and they should look at the nutrition guide and at least just go shopping for the first week of food that they should have. And they should, make sure that they look through maybe some of the recipes that come with Shakeology and look through some of the great ways they can make their shake. So those are important. Photos, measurements, read through the materials, watch the video, go shopping, clean out their pantry. And that should happen sort of before the start date, maybe those few weekdays before the start date. And then as you get your group set up, every single program has a guide in your online office where there are daily posts, things that you can post every single day. Those are already set up for you in these challenge group guides. Now, I like to look at those and I like to customize them so they don't necessarily sound too cookie cutter. I like to make them sound like me. I also like to come up with some of my own. And instead of just posting something via typing, I also highly recommend that you do some video posts. Those are fun, Do a quick 30-second, 1-minute video post. Hey everybody, it's Kit here. Here's our motivational tip for the day. I know you might be going through, a work day and it's long. You don't feel like doing your workout. You've got to check into this group. You've got to read those posts. Everybody's going to get you psyched and motivated, and you'll be that much likely to push play when you know everybody else is doing it too. So check in with the group, something fun. Maybe it's a quick recipe you want to video to yourself doing, any kind of tip that you want to do. Now, in terms of the process, here's what I do. I typically do my workout in the morning, and right after I do my workout, I go into the group and I post my workout and what I did and how I felt, if it was hard, if it was difficult, it was something I had challenges with, or something I want to do differently next time. I'm me, I'm authentic, I'm real in how I did that. Then what I do is at the end of the day is when I look into my groups and I read the posts. If people have questions, I answer them. I always like to post something positive and motivational. If someone achieved a milestone, great. If someone's just posting, hey, did eccentric upper today, was a little tough, but it was good, I still put either a smiley face or something there that acknowledges that I read the post and I'm there to help and guide them. The other thing I should mention is too, early on, what I recommend as you get the group started is the very first post should be that everybody should introduce themselves. Now, if they want to do that via video, great. Sometimes I do that via video, but at least I want them to just something short, like tell us where you're from, what you do for a living, and what's one goal that you have by participating in this group that you'd like to achieve at the end of the 60, 90, 30 days, whatever it might be. And now, so we talked about what you should do in terms of post, how you should go about doing that, various ways in which you can do that. As you go through this, there's bound to be folks that reveal themselves as being super committed and super positive. And your first instinct might be to jump on that person and say, hey, oh my gosh, you should be a coach. And my recommendation is that you pull back and hit the brakes a little bit and wait for some time. Typically, oftentimes I wait to get in contact with someone at least a month or a month and a half in. But what I do like to do is recognize and acknowledge those folks for their posts. There's always sometimes those few people who will make a post on someone else's post. It's very positive motivation. Hey, Mary, that's so awesome that you got to 15 push-ups. Great job. I know that was a goal for you. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is exactly what a great coach does. So instead, what I will do is I will send that person a private message and I'll say, Bob, I just wanted to say thank you. Over the last week, you've been so motivational and you've been so supportive and so helpful to everybody in the group. And I really appreciate that. And I know they do too. And, it's just a nice thing that you're doing, and I just wanted to thank you. And, that's just my way of letting folks know that I appreciate what they're doing. And then at some point, what you can do is just send that person a private message and say, you know what, you'd make a great coach, and I would be honored to have you on my team. You're doing so many things that a coach does. Would you like to learn more? Again, same thing as the challenge group. Are you interested? Would you like to learn more? Let's set up and then from there, I like to set up a phone call and just talk to them about it over the phone and let them make an informed decision. Okay, so that's challenge groups. The how-to of how to get them set up, how to keep people engaged, and how to reach out to folks that might become future coaches on your team. This is the greatest way to get people successful. And it's also the greatest way that if people are successful in this, they're likely to go on to try a future program from you or become a coach. So make challenge groups your goal every single month. They're also really fun. And finally, again, there's this wonderful tool called Hootsuite that if you get a lot of challenge groups going, like I've gotten to the point now, that you should start using. I sit down on Sunday nights and I pre-post all my posts in my group for the coming week. My motivational post, my daily post. I still check in at the end of every day to answer questions and so forth. But certain things like videos and motivational posts and tips and things like that, I will pre-post using Hootsuite. It's a wonderful tool and it's a great time saver. All right, if anybody has any other great ideas on how to get people engaged and motivated in group, please post them in our page. We want to hear your ideas and thoughts. Have a great day.